What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today, I want to focus in on the Columbus Blue Jackets Pittsburgh Penguins first round series preview. I like Columbus in the series, despite the fact they are, I believe, 0-5 against the Penguins, which we'll get to in a second. Let's start with a tail on the tape. Let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Metropolitan Division champions, led by the presumptuous MVP. I would pick to win the MVP. Sid the Kid Crosby with 104 points in 80 games, pacing the NHL. No, Malkin's been hurt. I don't know what his status is for the series. Chris Kunitz has played very well. James Neal's been hurt, but when he's healthy, he's averaging better than a point a game. UC Okanen's kind of found himself. Niskanen's had a phenomenal season. Oli Mata is a very, very good rookie defenseman. Gibbons and Vitale, the two Hockey East guys down on the bottom six, been playing well. And Crystal Tank's back from a stroke, and he's -8 this season. I'm just looking at the minuses this team. I know people want to discredit plus minus, but he's -8. Sutter's -9. Martin's -4. Horpick's minus. Craig Adams is minus. Yeah, that's not ideal situation, but is what it is. Clean slate when the playoffs come around now. Speaking of having a clean slate, Marc-Andre Fleury has had a rough go of it lately in the playoffs. You got in 2011 the series collapse against Tampa Bay, the 2012 series against Philly where he got lit up badly, all 6 games, whatever he started, and last year when he got pulled in the first round and Thomas Vokoun took him to the conference finals. Vokoun's back after I think it was a blood clot. He played today for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, gave up I think 3 goals in the third period, so probably not the best thing to go off. Fleury had a pretty good regular season, .915 save percentage, 237 goals against, but you got to be skeptical going into the playoffs. I mean, granted, he did take the Penguins to a final and win a Stanley Cup another time, but I'm not buying it right now. I'm not buying this team. Not with Malkin banged up, not with other injuries throughout the lineup. I think Gotch, the fourth line center, who's came over from the Panthers. They rescued him from the Panthers. He's hurt. The Kessler trade didn't go down. The defense has had issues. I'm not trusting this team. Now let's look at Columbus. And granted, I think Pittsburgh again is 5-0 against Columbus. Let's look at the Jackets. Ryan Johansson was one of the breakout players of the year. I love this kid's game. I loved when he was a Portland Winterhawk. And, this year, 63 points, leading Columbus, played all 82 games, was really coming into his own as an elite number one center that I'm expecting big things from going forward. Brandon Dubinsky had a great year, 50 points. Cam Atkinson, 21 goals, a Boston College product. Nick Foligno's played well. Boone Jenner has had an amazing rookie season, bringing the physicality and and putting up 16 goals. I think he actually set the rookie record for goals by the Columbus Blue Jackets. The one gaping hole in this lineup is they're not going to have Nathan Horton in the playoffs. Now, I know you're saying Nathan Horton, the same guy I just lambasted earlier this week, and that only has 4 goals in 36 games since coming over as a Jacket, or 5 goals in 36 games. Yeah, that same Nathan Horton. Because he's a proven playoff player. And sometimes guys' play goes beyond stats. He's one, if that makes any sense. Their play goes beyond statistics, and you can throw all these stats at me. Nathan Horton brings it in the playoffs, and having him out there would have been great, but you really can't complain. You can't make excuses. You have to move forward. Having said that, one thing that can cover up all sins is a phenomenal goaltender. They have that in Bob Bobrovsky, last year's Vezina Trophy winner. Stats kind of regressed a little bit, 238 goals against, .923 save percentage. But he was still awesome this season despite missing time with injury. And you look at the defense in front of him, isn't that bad. I mean, Wisniewski had 51 points, it was even, which is good for him. Jack Johnson was a -7, which at this point with him is par for the course. Fedor Tootin was a steadying presence back there, the former New York Ranger. Nikita Nikitin played well at times. Same with David Savard and Dalton Prout, who I'm really liking both of their games coming around. And one of my favorite rookies, Ryan Murray, out of the Everett Silver Tips, one of my favorite players for 2012 NHL entry draft. Guy I really loved, coming up through the Western Hockey League and seeing what he can do. He's been banged up a lot the last couple of years, but he's healthy now. 21 points in 66 games, +4, really becoming a young, steadying presence on the blue line. And he's going to help the Jackets in this series, I believe. I think it's going 7. I think Columbus pulls it out in 7. I really do. I think Pittsburgh is suffering from overconfidence and injuries, and those two really don't mesh too well. I believe they will get Malkin back at some point during the series, but I just like the Columbus Blue Jackets because it was the same thing I talked about with during one of the series. Oh, the Bruins Red Wings. I know the Red Wings have a 3-1 against the Bruins, but the Bruins have had amazing goaltending all season long from Tuukka Rask, and that can make up for any deficiencies that the rest of the team has in front of him. I think it's the same thing with Bobrovsky and the Blue Jackets. If he makes stops consistently, they're going to win this series. And the other thing is, he may not have to stand on his head if he Ken Dryden in 1971. If Marc-Andre Fleury has his annual playoff hiccup, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or tick off Penguins fans by saying this, it's bound to happen. He's done it the last few years. I'm just going off those stats, off his track record. Why not us? Why not Columbus? Not like me personally. I'm not on the Blue Jackets bandwagon, but I'm picking them in a series. I like them. I really do. The former New York Rangers have stepped up very well, and I think this team almost has the Ewing theory going for it. Once they lost Rick Nash, they put up two of their best seasons in franchise history. A lot of that has to do with Bobrovsky, mind you, but the other part of it is the guys are playing well. The cancers in the locker room, the Jeff Carters, aren't there anymore. You don't want to be here, goodbye. And Rick Nash earned his way out. I think that was the best thing for everyone. The team wasn't going anywhere. He didn't want to spend the rest of his career in a losing situation, but that allowed them to go out and get guys like Dubinsky, Artem Anisimov that have played in conference finals before, and made long playoff runs and know what it's like. I just think they've obviously been banged up. I think Umberger's hurt right now, among a few other guys, but I just think given the makeup of this team, the depth they have, they're kind of like a middle-class St. Louis. They have a great goaltending, pretty solid defense. There isn't exactly an Alex Pietrangelo or Kevin Shattenkirk out there, but the defense isn't bad. And the forwards are deep. There isn't a Thomas Vanek or a proven sniper out there, but they're young, they're talented, and they're hungry. And again, I think this is going 7, and I can see Columbus pulling this out in 7 games to win their first ever playoff series. But we shall see, again, if I'm wrong on that count. Anyway, that's all I got this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Pittsburgh Penguins Columbus Blue Jackets preview. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.